What's good? What's poppin'? Welcome to another episode of that deep shit, where we connect the dots. And on today's episode, we're going to talk about the electromagnetic human aura field, how to recognize this, how to become aware of it, and how to tap into it. Yeah, so let's get it. Alright, so as we know, that the human body is a electromagnetic pulsating machine, if you will, okay? Just like any other object in the material world, like this candle, like this amethyst crystal, all have its own unique vibrational frequency. So when you're looking at electromagnetism, you have to kind of look at it like positive and negative polarities. Electric being one side of the polarity and magnetism being the other side of the polarity. Kind of like positive electrons, negative electrons, things of that nature. So since if you want to look at this candle and look at it as being a vibrational piece of material, you will have to go deep and look into the molecular structure of the wax or the glass that surrounds it and know that it is made out of certain particulate matter, whatever the composition of the material is. If you look at it on a quantum level, there's neutrons, there's electrons, there's photons, all with positive and negative polarities within them each. So each one of those small, minute particles have their own magnetic and electric biofield. So even though this has a biofield of its own, it's probably very small and very dim compared to me or compared to you, but it does have its own. Just like how this crystal has its own vibrational biofield. How do we know that the human body has its own electric and magnetic biofield? We can just take a look at what runs the human body. The heart. The heart, just like a car battery, if the electrons slow up, it will fail. And what do you do when your car battery fails? You jump start it. You increase the molecular movement of the electrons inside of the battery, i.e. via the water that's inside the battery, and it will either temporarily start the battery or bring the electrons in full motion so the battery can go again. Same thing with your heart. If your heart stops, they'll shock it back with electricity to jumpstart it. So remember, if you have electricity, you also have magnetism. And that's what creates the aura field around humans, electricity and magnetism. Also, that is the meat and potatoes of what gravity is. But that's a whole separate subject that if you want to revisit that, watch my video called Gravity and Gods. All right, so how do we know that, or how can we tell in a real world application that the human body has this field, instead of just being told like, oh, your aura is so beautiful? In fact, you have many different levels and layers to your aura, different aura fields, if you will, okay? But how can we tell this instead of just reading about it and wishing upon a star? I'll give you a real world example. If you have a dog, or if you've ever been around a dog or walked past a home with dogs, have you noticed that dogs will start barking? Even though they can't see you or you're nowhere close to the house, but just passing a house by an unfamiliar dog, you'll hear the dog bark. That's because animals have their own frequency of their own resonance and electromagnetic field, and they're very keen on it. Like, they're very tapped in. So depending on the size of your electromagnetic aura field, may come in contact with theirs, and they can feel you. Before you even get close to them, they can feel your aura bubble, if you will, because it collides with theirs. That's how they know. A dog will perk up because a dog is very in tune with its aura field. All right, that's how a dog knows you're coming home. If you have a dog at home, you leave for work, you come home, the dog knows you're coming home because it feels your aura field. Okay, it feels your aura field before you even get there. Now, how do you expand the aura field? This is the whole meat and potatoes of the video. Expanding the aura field. Well, a tip that I like to use is when I'm meditating, okay? I do a closed eye meditation, right? I do a closed eye meditation, and I'm turning off the senses and turning them on one by one. So I'm turning off my sight. I can't really turn off my smell because it's like you can't just stop smelling, right? But I'm not tasting anything that I know of. But I am listening, and I'm not talking, so I'm not making any sound. Okay, but I am listening. So what I like to do is I like to listen as far out as I possibly can. And I like to hear every sound individual and separate. So, for example, I'll hear the birds chirping. I'll hear the garbage truck in the distance picking up the garbage. I'll hear people talking. I'll hear water running somewhere. Whatever the case may be. But with my eyes closed and only hearing, it's painting a picture. So I'm visualizing with my third eye what I hear. So what that's doing is it's expanding my awareness of consciousness as far as I can hear. So my bubble from me to as far as I can hear, my consciousness is expanded there. And because I am in a mental mind state, because remember, the first rule of the Hermetic principles is the universe is mental, the rule and law of mentalism. And I'm going to do a video about the Hermetic principles. That's coming. But for those who know, the first rule of the Hermetic principles is mentalism. So by connecting to what I hear, I can hear in a 360-degree sphere. So this is creating my bubble. Doing this constantly and becoming aware of everything in an earshot expands the bubble. Doing this over and over will expand your chi, will expand your energy, and you'll see the difference. You'll feel the difference. When you walk into a room, your presence will be a lot. I'm not going to say heavier, but your presence will be a lot more forceful. And you can use this in real world applications once you sharpen your skills with communication, sharpen your skills with interaction, and things of that nature. And you will see that you will get better results because not that people fear it, but people feel it. People feel it. Now I'll give you another example of this happening. Have you ever been in a restaurant? And been eating and just felt someone looking at you, and you turned and they were looking at you, but you didn't see them, but you felt them? This is how people expand their consciousness. Remember, energy flows where the attention goes. Energy goes where the Energy flows where the attention goes. So just like hearing, right? You could do that with sight. You could do that with all of the senses, all of them. So if you use all 5 of the senses, you can really expound on your aura fields. And remember, there's different aura fields. There's different levels of your aura fields. Once you start to learn the different levels of your aura fields, just keep practicing the same techniques over and over to each aura field. And by the way, your aura fields are connected to your chakra points. Just food for thought. So I'm going to end the video there. I hope I didn't talk your ear off. And yeah, we'll be back with some more of that real deep shit. Also, visit newmysteryschool.com to schedule one-on-one sessions, because I get bombarded with a lot of questions that I can't just answer through messaging or typing, and people, you know, go real deep with it. So I would strongly, highly suggest get a session. It'll be well worth it. Also, you can find tools there to help you in your ascension process. All right. So with that being said, you already know what time it is. Keep them third eyes open. The whole yada means, and it's good.